Frederick and Queen Mary hosted the Danish Council to a dinner. A big incident occurred! In the heart of Copenhagen, amidst the grandeur of the Amalienborg Palace, King Frederick and Queen Mary of Denmark hosted a prestigious dinner for the Danish Council, a gathering intended to be a night of diplomacy, celebration, and unity. The evening, however, took an unexpected turn that would make it one of the most talked about events in recent royal history. The stage was set for a memorable evening. The palace, with its historic opulence, was resplendent in candlelight, its grand halls echoing with the sounds of a string quartet. The guest list was a veritable who's who of Danish politics, business, and culture, bringing together the most influential figures in the kingdom. The dinner was seen as an opportunity for the royal couple to strengthen ties with the Danish Council, emphasizing collaboration and shared goals for the future of the nation. King Frederick and Queen Mary, known for their elegance and poise, were the perfect hosts. The royal couple has long been admired for their ability to blend tradition with modernity, and this dinner was no exception. The menu was a carefully curated selection of Danish delicacies, paired with some of the finest wines Europe has to offer. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, yet there was an undercurrent of anticipation. After all, this was not just any dinner, but a gathering of Denmark's most powerful. As the evening progressed, the conversation flowed as freely as the wine. Speeches were made, toasts were raised, and there was a palpable sense of camaraderie among the attendees. King Frederik, ever the gracious host, spoke of the importance of unity and the shared responsibility of guiding Denmark into a prosperous future. His words were met with enthusiastic applause, and the mood remained light and celebratory. Queen Mary, too, made her presence felt. Her charm and grace were on full display as she engaged in conversations with the guests, moving effortlessly from one group to another. She spoke passionately about the causes close to her heart, including issues related to women's rights and the well-being of children, topics that resonated deeply with many in attendance. Everything seemed to be going according to plan, and it appeared that the evening would be remembered as a shining example of royal diplomacy at its finest. But just as the final course was being served, something entirely unexpected occurred. The incident that would come to define the evening began innocuously enough. As the final toast of the night was being prepared, a loud crash reverberated through the dining hall. The room fell silent, and all eyes turned toward the source of the commotion. To everyone's shock, one of the crystal chandeliers, a magnificent fixture that had hung in the palace for centuries, had come crashing down, shattering into 1,000 pieces just inches from where several guests were seated. The sound of breaking glass was followed by a collective gasp, as the magnitude of what had just occurred began to sink in. For a moment, there was utter chaos. Guests scrambled to check on one another while the palace staff rushed to assess the situation. The king and queen, though clearly concerned, remained calm and composed, immediately moving to reassure their guests. Queen Mary, in particular, was seen comforting those who had been closest to the fallen chandelier, a calm demeanor helping to ease the tension in the room. Once it was clear that no one had been seriously injured, the immediate concern shifted to what had caused the chandelier to fall. Speculation ran rampant among the guests, with theories ranging from structural issues in the palace to a simple case of old age finally taking its toll on the historic fixture. Some even whispered about the possibility of foul play, though there was no evidence to support such claims. The king, ever the leader, quickly took control of the situation. After ensuring that everyone was safe, he addressed the room with a short but powerful speech. "Tonight, we were reminded of the fragility of even the most enduring things," he said, his voice steady. "But it is in these moments that we also find our strength, our ability to come together, to support one another, and to move forward with resolve." His words had the intended effect. The guests, though visibly shaken, began to relax, reassured by the king's presence and leadership. The dinner continued, albeit with a more subdued atmosphere. The conversation shifted from the incident to lighter topics, with some guests even managing to find humor in the situation, joking that the chandelier had simply had enough of hanging around. By the time the evening drew to a close, it was clear that the incident would be the talk of Denmark for weeks to come. The fallen chandelier, a symbol of the kingdom's storied past, had brought an unexpected drama to what was meant to be a night of celebration. Yet, in the midst of the chaos, King Frederick and Queen Mary had demonstrated exactly why they are so beloved by their people. Their poise under pressure, Their concern for their guests, and their ability to navigate the situation with grace and dignity were qualities that shone brightly that night. In the days that followed, the incident became a topic of national conversation, with many praising the royal couple for their handling of the situation. Some even speculated that the chandelier's fall was symbolic, a reminder that even the most venerable institutions must adapt and evolve, just as the monarchy has done under King Frederick and Queen Mary's leadership. The dinner that was meant to be a demonstration of unity and strength did indeed achieve its purpose, though not in the way anyone had anticipated. The incident with the chandelier, while jarring, ultimately served to highlight the resilience of the Danish people and their leaders. It was a reminder that even in moments of crisis, it is possible to find grace and composure. For King Frederick and Queen Mary, the evening reinforced their reputation as leaders who are not only capable but deeply caring. Their response to the incident showed that they are not just figureheads but are truly committed to the well-being of their nation and its people. As the palace staff worked to clean up the shattered remains of the chandelier, one thing was certain: the dinner would be remembered not just for the drama that unfolded, but for the way in which the royal couple turned a potential disaster into a moment of unity and strength. It was a night that, despite the unexpected turn of events, ended with a renewed sense of respect for the monarchy and its enduring role in Danish society.